You know, there is just something great going into a comic book store after watching a good comic book film. There's just something about it that just gives it good vibes. And also, I would pick up some books that were inspired by the movie, which is actually pretty smart for companies to do to promote not just the movies, but also the comics. I mean, you look at DC, they had a bundle of all the comics that inspired the Batman. And those were Batman Year One, Batman Ego, and Batman The Long Halloween. And they're doing the same with James Gunn's Superman. That is smart. Marvel, on the other hand, whenever they release a new film, not only do they re-release the traits that inspired the film, but they go the extra mile and come up with a new story to coincide with the film, even though it has nothing to do with the movie. It doesn't have the same characters, it doesn't have the same plot, so it's kind of a weird strategy that Marvel is doing. Alright, a new Marvel movie based on the Civil War movies coming out. What should we do? Well, sir, we could re-release the original story again. Yes, great idea, but I feel like we need something else. Well, sir, we could make a sequel where all the heroes are fighting each other, but the plot is different and the characters are different. That's brilliant! Hey, we're gonna introduce Adam Warlock to the MCU. What should we do to promote it? Bring in a female version. Alright, a new Fantastic Four movie is coming out. Alright, what should we do? Well, we're hearing that Invisible Woman's going to be the leader of the group, so we gotta change that quickly. But sir, Mr. Fantastic is the leader. Fuck it, who cares? Do it now! And that, folks, is called the MCU synergy. Now, what does that mean? Well, it usually means when they are adapting a certain storyline from the comics, or introducing a new character into the movies, Marvel's grand plan is to change the character completely. Personality, design, everything. To make it look like the MCU. And also to not confuse normies. Even though these characters are set in the 616 universe. And no, I am not talking about the MCU. I don't care what stupid Kevin Feige says. It's kind of stupid that now it's the other way around. It used to be that the comics were the inspirations for the movies. And also, it fucks up continuity. Like, there have been characters that haven't even been around in a long time. Say, for example, Thunderbolt Ross becoming Red Hulk. All of a sudden, he's Red Hulk now. Because they gotta promote that new Captain Falcon movie. And yet, they would also do some of the dumbest things out there. Like, killing off Mark Spector and having someone else take up the mantle of Moon Knight while they released the Moon Knight TV show. What? Now, is it considered a bad thing that the comics take inspiration from the movies? Not always. This has been happening even way before the MCU was a thing. During the release of the Raimi films, the comics went and did the organic webbing. It was kind of stupid how that turned out, but whatever, I guess. But there's definitely one character that has benefited from the movies, and thanks to the movies has now been a staple for the comic version, is actually Blade. This is what Blade used to look like back then, and Blade didn't have many comics at the time, and then once the movie came out, Blade was completely different, with the addition of the shades and the trench coat. And now this is the Blade that we know of today. So maybe it can work, maybe it doesn't. I don't even think normies are out there buying comic books, because honestly they don't give a shit. So it's really pointless for them to do that. And in fact, I think they would get even more confused for picking up a comic book after the movie. Have you seen what the the new Avengers roster is in the comics now? Nothing like in the movie. But whatever, at least DC is not doing that. Fuck! Anyway, I will end the video off here. Like and subscribe, and as always, let's hug it out.